Hey, it's your CEO, Weekend Gabe, and thanks for watching Weekend at Gabe's. We hope that you enjoyed this latest episode. While you're here, hit the subscribe button and follow us on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
Let's get into America's favorite segment.
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't care. Your grandma doesn't care. President Joe Biden doesn't give a shit. But there is one man who cares, so you don't have to, and his name is Weekend Gabe. That's why it's news that only Gabe cares about.
All right, news that only Gabe cares about today kicks off with not one, but two stories about celebrity biopics. We start off first with Britney Spears, who responded to Millie Bobby Brown's comments about wanting to play Britney Spears in a biopic. And Britney's like, fuck that, I'm not dead yet, so there's no time. And so she's not ready to pull that out.
Yeah.
I mean, I would pay good money to see Britney Spears biopic. Maybe not now, maybe 10 years. I think in another 10 years.
Why would it, like, the story's not finished, right? Like,
no,
that is part of it.
We need the redemption.
I also feel bad for Millie Bobby Brown, who is currently in the middle of a press tour for her latest project. I'm not sure if she's promoting Enola Holmes or if she's promoting another one of these shows and movies that she's doing. But that must be an absolutely awful experience for actors. They have to do back-to-back interviews. They're all asking the same stupid fucking questions. She makes one off-the-cuff comment in response to who would you like to play in a biopic, and then Britney Spears dunks on her on the internet. You know?
And it was like something like, I'm not dead, but I know a lot of you guys would like to see me dead. And I was like, yo!
That's what I'm talking about. The story's not over yet. What if Britney Spears, like, God forbid, commits suicide? Then it's like, oh, there is more story to tell here. You know, what's going on? We run into a Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson situation. Britney Spears has a lot of life left to live. She could either go out like Dolly Parton or like Mike Jack, you know?
Yeah, it was like when they did the George W. Bush, what's his name? Oliver Stone did that movie in the middle of his administration. I was like, a little bit too early. Bit too early. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see how this plays out. All right, well, one celebrity said, no, fuck that. You guys aren't doing a biopic. But another celebrity today said, let's fucking go. Yeah. Snoop Dogg biopic is in the works. Directed by Alan Hughes of the Hughes Brothers and writer Joe Robert Cole from Wakanda Forever fame. So it's going down. Listen, I don't know if they're going to bring back homie who played him in Straight Outta Compton, who I should know his name, and I forget, from Get Out and all those other wonderful movies. You don't know who I'm talking about?
Wasn't Lakeith Stanfield?
It fucking was.
Never.
He played him in Straight Outta Compton. Yes.
Stanfield?
Yes.
I would love Lakeith to play fucking Snoop.
I don't know if he can run it back.
This is dead ass serious, no cap. He is literally the best actor, in my opinion, right now.
His range is incredible.
Good. He's so good. He's like actually better than your favorite actor. Like, fuck this Leonardo DiCaprio shit. I don't fucking care, bro. Brad Pitt can eat a dick. You know, like Lakeith fucking Stanfield, dog.
Yeah, I wonder if they're running back, because that's what they did with the actor who played Suge Knight in Straight Outta Compton. When they did the Tupac movie, they wouldn't just pick him back up. They're like, all right, we're gonna let you run this back. You did it so great the first time.
Check you back into the game. You know? Subbed you out, now we're gonna put you back in.
Imagine that's all you're good for, is just playing that one character. That's all you're good for.
I'm just
like
Suge Knight. Oh, well, I mean, you know, if you want to look at an actor who's had that career, then we can look no further than Vin Diesel. But you know what I'm saying?
So Snoop has done a lot of shit, like had the murder trial, multiple platinum albums. His album was like the highest selling debut album for a while until 50 Cent blew him out of the water. There's a lot about his career that is worth discussing, but I kind of feel like this should be like a Weird Al Yankovic, not Weird Al, what's his name? Howard Stern.
Speaking of which, that movie was...
Yeah, I know. I do got to check that out. But like how Howard Stern played himself in his own biopic, I need Snoop to somehow figure out a way to play himself.
You want de-aged Snoop?
Yeah. Yes. I want the Star Wars, Disney de-aging. Let's fucking go. Bring him back. Make him look like 19-year-old Snoop and when he's really 52.
Somewhere Snoop's like, I'm not dead yet.
Or even more funnier, just play him as a 52-year-old Snoop Dogg playing 19-year-old Snoop Dogg. Let's just do that. And like, who's gonna say anything about that?
Everybody's just gonna cough and look the other way. It'll be fine.
He just looks the same as time passes. He just looks the same.
That show would be funny. I mean, ultimately, I am excited to tell the story. Despite it being a Black Panther associated person, it's just the writer.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Like, was the Black Panther storyline that good?
Wakanda Forever? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so we'll find out.
I guess Wakanda Forever. I still haven't seen that. So it's a writer from that movie. You would have got me excited if you said Ryan Coogler is doing the fucking Snoop Dogg biopic.
Oh yeah.
I would have been like, fuck yeah, okay, let's go. But it's presented through Death Row Pictures. I think this is going to be a lifetime ass movie, if I'm dead honest with you.
I hope to God not. But yeah, I was like, who's like? It's because we've already seen Dre, presented and acted, and we have all these iconic characters that already been like we've seen them in Straight Outta Compton, and to see like another variation of it in another film, I don't know, man. It's like it's probably maybe too much. I know it's like Snoop's story, but it's still going to collide a lot with Dre's story and the NWA story. So we're gonna see.
It's like, and Snoop said it himself. Like during that era where they were making those movies, like Straight Outta Compton, he was pitched this several times, and he didn't want to do it because it wasn't right. It wasn't the right time to do it. He feels like now is the right time. I don't know if I agree, but at the same time, we'll find out.
I want to see who plays Tupac, man, because I think this is gonna be like our fourth variation of Tupac.
You think I got a shot?
I mean, listen, you never know, man. Anything's possible today. Anything's possible.
Thug life.
Shout out to Snoop, man. Always finding a way to stay relevant, man. I don't know what else to say. Dude has an incredible career. All right. Speaking of someone who has not had an incredible week, LeBron James.
Yes, I'm so glad we're doing this. Oh my god.
This is listen, I know LeBron is that guy who wants to be the voice of the culture for hip hop, for NBA, and like all things that are sort of Black culture. I know he wants to be that guy to sort of just be like, I want to be the person to speak on stuff. And he did a great job with Trayvon Martin and rallying the heat around that, and a lot of other social issues. But this one, he kind of really fucked himself because even if you want to get into like maybe he misspoke and said like 2010 instead of 2011 when Migos first debuted with their mixtape, still it's just sort of like now there's like a history of LeBron fibbing or not being absolutely honest
or
about
just
shit.
Lying.
That's true. That's true.
They said LeBron James is indeed the king of cap.
Wow. Yeah, he got dragged on his. He got dragged on Instagram.
It's been really funny to watch this. I don't know if you have the thread of like all of his lies, but it's been the best meme format where it's just like LeBron at the podium. And it's like, so I told JFK that day that the drop top was a bad idea.
Yo.
I was in the studio with Titty Boy as he was recording Duffel Bag Boy. He only had one chain on. So I said, here, wear my chain. And the rest is history.
Wow. Fuck. It's like when Brian Williams from MSNBC, he lied about being in the chopper in Iraq. If you remember this? And then they just memed him to fucking death and like photoshopped him next to Suge Knight, and like they took out the Tupac and put him next to Suge Knight. And he's like, yeah, I was there when Pac got shot, or it's like but yeah, it's like it's like LeBron just can't help himself to not try to be in the news for some reason.
Speak on it, and it's I get it. I do get why he feels the need to say something.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But it's like, why? But I don't understand why. Like, for example, right? He's like, well, I'm trying to pay tribute to Takeoff. It's like, do you have to like really dress like him to do that though? It's like, get the same exact diamond piece that he wore. It's like, the excess, need to do the most. It's like, why?
It is at a certain point, it's like he needs to be the center of attention. But again,
Correct.
he has positioned himself as thus throughout his entire career. So, what it's not off brand is essentially what I'm saying. This is not the last of the LeBron lies that we will hear, and I'm sure we will hear more going forward.
We'll see. But I'm speaking of, as we segue, sometimes maybe these fake Twitter accounts of LeBron may actually be him. We'll
Oh
find
man,
out.
Ballsack Sports got the fucking tick mark today, and oh my god, bro, that
Well,
account was misleading as it was, let alone with the tick mark next to it. Dangerous,
before we
dangerous
blow the
hours.
tease, let's just get into it. Twitter Blue started this week for $8. You can get yourself a verification blue check mark that many of you out there have been eluded, and then also get extended video uploads, which actually is a pretty great idea. And then you also get the edit button, amongst many other things. But this seems to have created a bit of an issue for Twitter with imposters. And let's go to the tape and find out which imposters there are, and you might be surprised or not surprised. Mario flipping off Twitter before with the Nintendo verification blue mark. By the way, that stood online for 2 hours. Let's get a look at Mario, because this doesn't look family friendly at all. I mean, love, man. I didn't see this when it was up. I saw it after they already pulled it down, but I'm like, man.
Spectacular work. Whoever was out there doing that, great job.
And then, of course, the real LeBron, or maybe not, who knows? LeBron James requesting a trade and saying goodbye to Laker Nation.
Akron, I'm coming home.
These things all got hundreds and thousands of likes, by the way. Like, people were really checking for this shit, or it popped up on their feed somehow. And then, of course, this is why Elon Musk plan doesn't work from the real for Don Trump real. So it's just a bad fucking idea, man, to fuck with the blue check mark, man. It's like everyone knows there had been a better way to try to generate money than to fuck with the blue check mark, which all it does is give validity to people who really are themselves. And now making this even more muddy is going to drive people not to want to be on the platform, ultimately leading to his demise, which seems almost immediate.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been saying that. Who cares, man? Let the Bird app die. If the Bird app got to die, then let it die, dude. Who cares, bro? We had so many years of free entertainment.
We did. We had 10. I've been on this bitch since maybe 9 or 8. I don't remember, but it's been a while, man. It's been a huge part of my life, and I don't say that lightly. It's really been part of my day every day. So to see, it's like a girlfriend you see being ex-girlfriend being treated bad. You're like, damn, man, like you don't deserve that.
Yeah.
Like, damn, like
I don't
why?
feel that way. If any of my exes are watching, I don't care.
But you're like, I wish you better, and you shouldn't be getting tossed up like this. This is bad. It's like, like you shouldn't be getting trained on, like fuck.
The worst part about that was using the phrase "tossed up." You must be stopped. You must be stopped. This is amazing, though. I mean, at a certain point, it's like, what is it? Isn't that a scene from Braveheart? Like, I'm William Wallace. Oh no, Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus. That's sort of the moment that Twitter is having right now. It's trying to get control of an ultimately unruly app. And every time you try and enforce control over some, people will revolt. And this is how they're doing it right now. I just want to have a word for all the people who were not verified until this morning. I'm looking at you, account with 100 followers and following 2,500 people. You are the one. You are the one. We see what you're doing, and you look dumb. So stop doing it.
Yep.
Or maybe keep doing it. If your wish is to get a blue check so that you can make Daddy Elon some cash, do that, dude. I guess that's how you feel.
Yeah. I will announce to everyone watching the show that you will never ever see me pay for the check mark.
I'm gonna be an unofficial mango forever. Right up until I start working for Power 92.
I mean that exactly. I mean, maybe they might ban you for being a parody account of Power 92.
Power 92.
And then they'll shut you down like our boy Skylar Higley, who got his shit shut down.
Skylar Higley. R.I.P. my dog.
Listen, your Twitter account is in our thoughts and prayers. We're holding hope that you'll come back.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna get the cool people out of here. It's gonna keep the lame people on the app, and the app will die in the end. It won't be tomorrow. It won't be the next day. Probably won't even be at Christmas time. But it'll be at some point.
I've been holding out, venturing over to Truth Circle and Parlor, man. So maybe this might be the good time to look into those things.
Your Parlor on?
I mean, fuck it. At this point,
you got the hair for it. You do have the hair.
Let's get it. All right, listen. We're gonna talk a little bit about breakfast. Wendy's is killing it with their French toast sticks.
I don't know where the fuck if Barry Makes Eats is watching right now. All of this is him. This is all him.
That they've been killing it on the French toast sticks, driving up 6.4% of their sales, or they saw a boost from the last quarter of 6.5% once they debuted French toast sticks in August. So they've seen a bump of that considerable magnitude. So people are going wild for French toast sticks. I haven't seen it yet because I really didn't know if Wendy's had breakfast, but now that they do, I might be inclined to check that out.
Wendy's for breakfast.
I'm really not checking for it. Yeah,
fast food places for breakfast. The only time I'm gonna smack a McDonald's breakfast is one, I'm driving somewhere and it's the morning time. And I'm not talking about like driving to work. I'm talking about like I'm driving. I'm gonna be in the car for at least 7 hours today, and it's the morning, and I'm getting
correct.
Or I'm super duper hungover, and the only thing that I can think to stomach is a big plate of breakfast from McDonald's.
The big let's get to Burger King breakfast does go hard. The croissant sandwiches do go hard. The hash brown bites or whatever they're called, those are really great.
Hitting these things live on air and you're just thinking that they're gonna go unpunished. Weekend Gabe.
I only stop at Burger King every morning is because the line on 26th and Kedzie is for the McDonald's is fucking leads into Kedzie. So there's no way I can spend 30 minutes waiting for a big breakfast for them to microwave some pancakes. I'm just not doing it, dog. But Burger King seems to be always available and open for a 2-minute run through. I mean, they are efficient. So I have to honor that.
Maybe this is the next Gabe's Eats. Maybe you need to do a French toast stick off.
This could be like
Wendy's, Burger King, and I think Sonic. Sonic has French toast sticks.
No,
Sonic Barry Makes Eats. Somebody's probably munching on some Wendy's French toast sticks right now.
Burger King or McDonald's is the only go-to for morning drive-through breakfast, and Dunkin' Donuts if you're just looking for donuts and a coffee. Other than that, forget about it. I'm just saying. That's just the facts.
They say it's the most important meal of the day. I could go without breakfast. Fuck that shit.
All right, before we get out of here, we have to have science, because if it's aliens or anything to do with space, we have to talk about on this show.
Yeah.
The latest from NASA is that a black hole announces itself to astronomers by violently ripping apart a star. Listen, I love it.
Star was probably talking mad shit. Good job,
that fucker ran into a fucking Windworld tunnel. This is just a drawing. If you actually seen the photos from NASA or Hubble, it looks like fucking 8-bit Tecmo Bowl. It's like it doesn't look as cool as this. So this is not an actual photo, folks. For you guys wondering, our technology has not matched to gotten to that point. But this is what it appears like.
It's like, somebody's whole job. They're sitting at home, and then NASA discovers some 8-bit ass video from 7 million light years away.
Yeah.
And then this person's like, fuck yeah, finally got some work. And then just pencil to paper immediately.
This is what I imagine it looks like.
That must be the best job ever. I wish I had any sort of drawing skill when NASA's like, okay, I have this blip on this radar from 7 million light years ago. Could you
Right.
make it art? And I'm like, yes, NASA, I will for $1 million.
I mean, those are jobs that you only dream about having, or maybe just happen to fall into when there's no one else left to do it. It's called the hitherto undiscovered black hole announced its presence to astronomers when it ripped apart and devoured a star that wandered too close to it. That's usually what happens when you wind
How
up
the
in
fuck you a star and you in the wrong hood?
how
I
you
don't
how you the
understand.
ops, like how you become the ops when you're in space and you're just a star. Just
Like you are not moving. Or maybe you. I don't know. Maybe I just need theory of relativity training.
all right, so here's some of the details. The intermediate mass black hole located in a dwarf galaxy 1,000,000 light years away from Earth strutted the star in an occurrence that astronomers called a TDE, a tidal disruption event. That sounds badass, by the way. The TDE
That's
made
the
its
other thing.
yeah.
A TDE because it's a tidal disruption event, meaning that somebody sat there in a telescope and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna name that star Jeff. That's gonna be Star Jeff. I'm gonna watch Star Jeff for my whole entire career." And then all of a sudden, one day, they were filming through the telescope, and they're like, "Fuck! What happened to Jeff?"
Yep.
Tidal disruption event. Yes, please tattoo that on me.
That's
TDE.
amazing. All right. I mean, I know it's not aliens, but I'm excited about this because the potential for Earth to get just ripped apart is somewhere in the near 1,000 years. I don't know. That sounds pretty cool, man.
Who knows what happens, man? Maybe it'll just pop up in a different part of space and be like, "Fuck, that's Jeff. I see him."
It's another portal to another part of the galaxy.
Yeah.
And he comes. Yeah, that's kind of cool, man. I like that idea. But this is pretty rad, man. I'm not even upset about this idea of seeing the black holes like tear apart stars. I think someone has to. I mean, they've been like so cuddly for so long. Someone had to be tired of that shit.
Somebody had to get these hands,
You guys have been living safely for too long. Come here. But man. All right, so that's it. That's our news for tonight on News That Gabe Only Cares About on this November 10th, 2022.
Thanks for watching this latest episode. We hope that you enjoyed it. If you're looking for more, click on any of the episodes swirling around my head. And also, don't forget to follow us on the socials at Weekend Gabe, at Weekend at Gabe's, and also at The Real Sam Crane. All right, thanks for watching, y'all.